Yo, turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shades 2, baby. She back again. Crowd lit, vibe on 10. Shade walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section. She call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, and laughs all day. Look on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I let gang, back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, and laughs all day. Look on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line, and somebody hurt. Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right, yeah, late night with Shay.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. That's right. News, drama, laughs, whatever else you feel like. One mic, one queen. Late night with Shay. On Shay's tube, she back again.
It's late night with Shay.
Yeah, she say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. Now you thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. Now you thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Yeah.
What's going on, you guys? Thank you so much for being here tonight. Welcome to Shay's Tube Late Night Owls Talk Time. Welcome to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watched this in the replay. Over here in the chat, we got Jermaine in the place to be, always representing for Night Owls. We can hang, y'all. We can hang. Anyway, if you enjoyed this content tonight, make sure that you thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications, share, leave a comment, and hype this video up. And if you want to show additional support for this channel, feel free to do a super sticker, super chat, cash app donation at $ShadesTube, or copy yourself a membership for $4.99 per month. You can also buy yourself, you can buy some jewels, okay? So anyway, thank you guys so much. Copyright disclaimer scrolling across that screen, and we are getting ready to get started. So go get you something relaxing to sit in if you are at work, watch or listen to me on the down low. We're not going to be in here that long tonight, you guys. A straight up hour, because I came on a little bit later than what I wanted to. So let's go ahead and get to it. So anyway, y'all already know this week, Karmelo Anthony has been he had a hearing, a hearing to recuse Judge Roach, which that did happen. And then now he's into the part of his hearing where they are trying to get a retrial. Okay, now I'm not going to go over everything regarding that because I already did that in my daily news reactions and also in other Night Owl lives. Let me put my background music on real quick. Hold on, let me do that. And let me also change this to this. And let me put my music on real quick. Actually, let's put the funny one up. That one right there. That's cute. Make sure y'all thumbs up when y'all come in, okay, and subscribe. Let's go ahead and put the music in the background because y'all, it's too quiet. Not that one, because that right there makes you want to go to sleep. We're going to do this one. Okay. And let's take this down as well and put up our banner so we can know what we're talking about tonight. So hold on, let me just take this down. Actually, I'm going to put it in with them. Okay, so as I was saying, okay, I'm not going to go over that trial. I mean, not the trial, but the hearing and everything, because we already pretty much got the basic facts that we need to know. Number one, Judge Roach was recused, okay, by Judge Harley, okay, and now Karmelo is doing. His lawyers are asking for a retrial, and I guess by Monday he will find out if that is granted. Yeah, they have to do it by Monday. Otherwise, if they do not do that by Monday, his motion for retrial will be denied. And then they have to do the appeal process. Okay? So anyway, they got some new details in which we talked about it somewhat last night, briefly. But tonight we're going to talk about it more. Okay? Because for me over here on Shades Tube, I like to keep it all fair. I really just don't want to attack anyone, right? I just want you guys to know about the things that they uncovered. That gentleman's agreement basically stopped from being put out there during Karmelo's trial. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, the prosecution. Well, anyway, when I read everything in the prosecution stated, I don't feel like that gentleman's agreement was there to protect Karmelo Anthony, okay? Because the thing is that I know a lot of people on social media, news programs and etc., they like to just point out what Karmelo Anthony background looks like, okay, which is weird because you should be talking about all of their backgrounds, okay? And so I feel like that gentleman's agreement was mainly done to protect the two twins, okay? And I could be wrong, but I just think that, okay? I don't think it was there to protect Karmelo Anthony's background. Because if the two, that's why I knew it was something up with that. Because if Karmelo was the only one who has something in his background, they wouldn't even do the gentleman's agreement. You see what I'm saying? And they would have tore him up. They would have brought that out and tore him up for real at that trial. Okay? They would have definitely used it. And I mean that on everything. So let's go over this and then we're going to look at some videos. And then we're going to talk about the fact that some people claim that prosecution is basically distorting the truth. No, not the truth, distorting the information that they found regarding Karmelo Anthony. Anyway, let me go ahead and tell you guys about this. Anyway, they said the gloves have come off in the ongoing courtroom drama involving Karmelo Anthony, okay? So they said both prosecutors and defense attorneys are using a motion for a new trial hearing to expose the violent backgrounds of both, not just one, of both Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. And they said violent background. So anyway, this is the gentleman's agreement that I was telling you guys about. Anyway, this agreement was allegedly private, okay, and off the record. And They said this agreement was done to keep the sordid backgrounds of both Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf from the jury and the public so that the Erder trial would focus solely on what happened under the tent at the Frisco High School track meet last year. Now, okay, I believe that was right there a trick by the prosecution, okay? Because if they was, like I said before, if they didn't have anything to worry about concerning the twins, there is no way they would have did this gentleman agreement to keep, you know, Carmelo Anthony's background from being revealed. They would have used that against him. So that should have told us then that something weird was there. Let me see what you said, Jermaine. Right, it's just text messages, but I did hear additional stuff today. So I don't know if this stuff is true or not. So we're going to use allegedly. And as a matter of fact, we are going to use allegedly for all of them. Okay. Now, they said both sides are releasing those background reports, with the defense going first by going over 20 pages of Austin Metcalf's behavioral history. 20 pages, you guys. So on Thursday, they said Carmelo was dressed in a suit and tie, with the defense arguing that efforts by the trial judge and prosecutors to combat threats and address disruptions actually prevented Carmelo Anthony from receiving an open and fair trial. But some explosive testimony came from Carmelo Anthony's trial attorney, Mike Howard, about Austin Metcalf's background report that was never presented to the jury. Also, CBS News Texas has also learned new details about Austin Metcalf's background from court documents. Now, let me just say this. Okay, I heard someone say, and I don't know if this is true or not, okay, they claim that he hit his mother, punched her or something in her face. And like I said, I don't know if that's true. So we're going to use the word allegedly, because I don't know if that's true or not. But they also said that Austin Metcalf and his brother Hunter Metcalf were once caught spray painting graffiti, including the 3Ks in Unalive All Blacks and Hail Hitler, along with the N word. And they were sentenced to 12 months of juvenile probation. And that's according to court documents. So that's a known fact, okay? Records reveal they reportedly told authorities, we did some dumb stuff and we did some vandalism, okay? They said there are several documented instances of Austin Metcalf using racial slurs in school. And in 2023, Austin was accused of bullying a black student in class. Then, according to some court documents, when he was in elementary, and his brother too, back in 2018, Austin Metcalf and his brother were accused of bullying and assaulting a female, which led to Austin Metcalf's arrest in elementary school. Then in 2024, with another female student, Austin Metcalf allegedly knocked her to the ground and punched her in the stomach. And he was also kicked out of a football game and later texted someone, I was about to beat the blank out of those kids. Now, how did they get that text message? Anyway, I guess that was in the documents. At a previous track meet, when another student alerted Austin Metcalf that someone not on their team behind our bench was talking wild, Austin Metcalf reportedly replied, unalive that MFer. So something like this happened again. So they said at a previous track meet, when another student alerted Austin that someone not on their team behind our bench was talking wild, Austin reportedly replied KIL that MF. And that's according to court documents. Then in 2023 to 2024, he received an in-school suspension twice. Then the school disciplinary records from April 2022 to May 2024 revealed that he reportedly called a teacher the B word or used profanity that he told a school official that he couldn't control it and wasn't aware what was coming out of his mouth. Okay. In 2024, on at least 5 occasions, records show Austin saw a counselor regarding his anger and rage during a football game. So let me tell you something. That explains the 10th thing. He did not want Karmelo underneath that tent. Maybe too because he was black. He's black too. And then you got to learn to say, you're not leaving? In 2021, he was banned from attending basketball games for a season after yelling profanity at a player. Court documents state that Austin Metcalf was also suspended after he and another student were talking about bringing a GUN to school the following day. What? And this was back in when? 2021. You said Megan Metcalf has admitted in the past that Hunter had a temper, but she failed to tell us about Austin talking wild, talking reckless. It sounds familiar. Yeah, now it's all coming together now. It's all coming together. But yet everybody want to get up there and talk about them damn text messages. Now we are going to talk about those too, because over here we keep it fair. Now let's see what else we got here. Hold on. I want to read the whole 20 pages. I'm not for real. Maybe we can pull it up. Next, let's see. Prosecutors reveal details from Karmelo Anthony's character. Okay. So let's see. Some never before released details of Karmelo Anthony's teenage years in Louisiana up to the day of his arrest for murder are also disturbing. On the day that Karmelo Anthony would, unalive Austin Metcalf, prosecutors say he sent a text message at 1 a.m. which said, "I'm low-key on the verge," and then emphasized it. But do we know exactly what he was referring to? I'm low-key on the verge of what? And who was he sending that text message to? So later in the morning on April the 2nd, 2025, and hours before Karmelo Anthony would unalive Austin Metcalf, let's see. He was engaging in, hold on. Prosecutors say Karmelo Anthony's girlfriend reported to a Centennial High School staff member that Karmelo Anthony was engaging in stalking behavior, to include, but not limited to, driving by her home and refusing to allow her to end their relationship. Okay? So driving by her home and refusing to end the relationship. Okay. Also in a 75-page filing, prosecutors say Karmelo Anthony had previously been accused of stealing his girlfriend's phone, and in October 2024, wrote a to-do list for his girlfriend about how to deal with weirdos, which included the line, "Say some slick like my boyfriend unalive people." Okay, so back in 2024, he was accused of stealing his girlfriend's phone sometime. I don't know if that was in 2024 or not, but he was accused of doing that. And then in October 2024, he wrote a to-do list for his girlfriend about how to deal with real weirdos, which included the line, say something slick like my boyfriend unalive people. But that doesn't mean that he was serious about that. He could have been playing. Okay. Now I don't know for sure because I'm not him, but I'm just, sometimes people text stuff, say stuff, and it's not like, they mean it for real. It's like when me and Jermaine joke with each other. We say some pretty weird stuff, you know what I'm saying? But we're just playing with each other. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes people do say stuff like that. What's up, young Riz? I hope you're having a good morning. And thank you for stopping by. That's good. I'm glad you are. Okay. Now they said there are also text messages where he admits on at least 2 occasions to punching girls in the face. Who, Karmelo? And then prosecutors also found text messages from 2021 between Karmelo Anthony and another student about robbing someone for $300. So this is back in 2021. Okay, and so wait a minute, hold on. So back in, I don't know when this happened, where they found some text messages admitting on at least 2 occasions to punching girls in the face. So him, Austin, and Hunter got a problem with hitting women, huh? Punching them, allegedly punching them. Let's see. Okay, another text message or messages where Karmelo Anthony talks about a fight and punching someone so hard he had to stop fighting. And then in 2023, prosecutors say Karmelo Anthony told a friend he was going to vandalize someone's house in Austin, Texas, saying, I just feel like it. I got a grudge. Okay, that's in 2023. In 2021, Karmelo Anthony told a friend he had been suspended from school for 3 days for fighting, saying they said next time I do something, I get recommended for expulsion. Court document show back in 2021. And then in a text conversation with a friend in 2023, prosecutors have messages from Karmelo Anthony in which he wrote, I'm a SHOOT the school up tomorrow with my blick. But later sent messages saying I would never actually do that. I'm glad he clarified that he wouldn't do that. Okay. But just to be saying stuff like that, it's plainly ridiculous. Him and Austin, man, I don't know what to say. I'm shocked. They definitely do say all sorts of stuff in the message. Now, I just told you about Austin. Okay, I'm telling you about both, all of them. Okay. So now, hold on. Okay, so I already told you guys about that. Okay, so in 2024, prosecutors say Karmelo Anthony admitted to carrying a firearm, telling a friend before a party that he would have the gun in his pocket. According to the documents, there are other message threads in which Anthony also mentions carrying a gun. Now, where would he have gotten a gun from? I'm pretty sure it is, but still, they both, all of their stuff is a hot ass mess, okay? So let's see. So after numerous suspensions and fighting while attending school in Louisiana, there are messages between Karmelo Anthony and his girlfriend after he moved to Frisco, and that's according to court documents. In one message thread, she suggests he should sit for a while, and he replied, yeah, and punch people, maybe run sometimes. I have to, it's like a priority for me. I like punching people. When I get mad, I see red. When I get mad, I black out. When I get mad, I can't control myself. Seems like something is wrong with all these little kids, okay, on everything. That's why sometimes it's good for parents to read these messages on their phones. Prosecutors also produced messages where Carmelo Anthony admitted to getting high and drinking alcohol, and even talked about selling drugs to get guns. Okay. So in 2024, prosecutors say Carmelo Anthony attempted to assault a teacher, saying, "I put my hands and face and everything." Mm-mm-mm. You said he has no record. As a juror, that would carry more weight to me. Also in 2024, messages obtained by prosecutors suggest Carmelo Anthony tried to bring a weapon into the state fair of Texas, asking a friend if the state fair has metal detectors. When he was told yes, his friend responded, "You got the poker?" He said, "Yeah, I might have to toss it," replied Carmelo Anthony. Prosecutors said Carmelo Anthony admitted to stealing a watch and earbuds in separate burglaries in Collin County, and also to bring a weapon onto a Frisco school campus, and said about his girlfriend, "She went in my bag to get my computer, and I said no, and she still went in it and grabbed it, and my GUN, MIKNIFE, and some other stuff fell out." There are numerous unreleased photos and videos of Carmelo Anthony holding firearms and making threats. Authorities found a note on Carmelo Anthony's phone with a long list of disturbing racial tropes and slurs about blacks, whites, and Hispanics. I wonder what kind of racial things he had there about black people, whites, and Hispanic people. In one message thread, prosecutors said Carmelo Anthony wrote, "I hate GAY people." Okay. Prosecutors say Carmelo Anthony repeatedly threatened to murder his girlfriend in text messages. Some of them say, "How many bullets you want coming out of your chest? And I'm going to get you." And then a cursing word. They also said that he threatened her with a KNIFE in one message and told her in another, "When I STAB somebody, I'm going to lick their blood off the blade." Prosecutors and defense attorneys got these character reports from a combination of police reports, school reports, and cell phone extractions. So what y'all got to say about all that? That is a hot ass mess. And and I hate to say it because it's not just a hot ass mess regarding Austin and his brother Hunter, but also with Carmelo, if this stuff is true. But even with all these messages and stuff, it still doesn't mean that he did not use self-defense. Okay? Because now I'm really wanting to see exactly what happened. I want to hear him talk as well. Okay? In Hunter. Because I just told you guys that allegedly Austin was in a similar situation before when he was called or text or whatever. Someone called him up or either text him and told him allegedly that somebody is talking wild about the team. I think that's what they said. And then he was like, going cray-cray over it and was like, KILL the MFer. These kids do not act like kids, honey. I'm telling you straight up, both of them, allegedly, both of them, were talking about GUNs and taking them to schools. So the thing is, I don't understand why people who support Austin Metcalf, just comes out and they just talk about Carmelo Anthony, what he said. And the people who support Carmelo Anthony just come out and just tell you guys what Austin and Hunter said. Over here, we're going to tell you what everybody said. Okay, point blank. Because it's really ridiculous for kids to be texting this type of shit and saying this type of stuff, talking about bringing GUNs to school, calling teachers BITCH, putting your hands in teachers' faces, punching girls. And Jermaine, you say Austin's is worse. As far as, so, I mean, I think that all of theirs is bad. I really, truly do. I can't even sit here on this live and say who is the worst. Because listen, I'm reading stuff that say both talked about bringing GUNs. Okay? Both allegedly hit girls and did the most with a teacher or two. The only thing that I didn't see Carmelo, nobody mentioned nothing about Carmelo fighting one of his parents. I didn't see that, so that's a good thing. Okay? I didn't see that. They do have a rumor going around that Austin did something like that. I don't know if that's true though. Well, yeah, he never carried it out, so that's a good thing. But damn, I'm wondering now, if he would have. So the thing is, like I said, this still doesn't, say he cannot utilize self-defense if he's put in that situation where he needs to, partake in it. But at the same time, I don't understand. I don't see how, when they bring all of this up, if he gets a retrial, I'm just, can't wait to see how all of this is going to turn out. Because you not only got stuff about him, Carmelo, you got stuff about Austin and his brother. Okay. Especially the one where he got mad because somebody talked reckless about his team or whatever the case is. The same thing that they got mad at, Carmelo about, because Hunter said that Carmelo started talking reckless, okay? And they alleged that he said, no, they said that he allegedly called the team ass or something like that. And that probably popped everything off. So that's why I think they say he was the aggressor. But the thing is, I don't understand how saying some silly words about a team is considered being an aggressor. Because at basketball games, football games, soccer, all that, sometimes fans will say stuff to other fans, just trying to be funny. That doesn't mean you have to get up and start scrapping. You know what I'm saying? Throwing down. The thing is, I just feel like, when they came over there to ask him who he was and all this other stuff, once Carmelo said, I'm not leaving, if that's what he said, that's when they should have went to get the coach. But now, after reading all this stuff, now I really understand why the coach was never went after. Okay, because too many egos, too many people thinking they can't be touched and shit like that. And then with them saying that Austin and Hunter, allegedly, Hunter and his brother were bullies. He said, cannot convict the boy of thought crimes in private text messages. We always hear that it matters more what you do than what you say. Okay. But yeah, it may not, you can't convict him from that, but you can't convince me that the jury won't be listening to this. Okay. Just like they're going to be listening to the stuff about Austin and his brother. See, that's why the prosecutor did that agreement, because he didn't give a damn about protecting Carmelo's background. He wanted you guys not to know about Austin's background, his brother. That's the real deal. Okay? And then it backfired because of the stunt, because of the little stunt that he did, prosecutors did, you know. So Carmelo's team got to know, and they definitely had to know, that his stuff would come out, you know. You say he had a 3.7 grade point average, captain of the track and football teams, 2 jobs, saved a white child from drowning, etc. How does Austin compare? Listen, it said that Austin has been in, like, him and his brother, been into situations for the longest. 20 pages. So this is I wish I could read the whole 20 pages of Austin and then everything they got on each one of them. I really do. So let me see what they're saying here. No, we're not going to go to that. The riding past his girlfriend house, doing that type of silly shit. There's so many people who do that when they break up with people. So, I mean, it is what it is. I think she should have went over there and told his mom and dad. So let's go ahead and look at this right here. Goodness. I surely would like to see what all of their parents would say regarding all this stuff we just, they just uncovered. I don't think it's no comparison, but I just know one damn thing. Shit, they all was doing the most. Okay? Period. That's why I say you never know people. You never know kids either, because they be doing shit that you look at them and you would be like, nah, they didn't do this. Okay? So let me mute this real quick, or you can just turn it all the way down. And then we're going to watch a couple of videos. And I wish I could read that whole paper. Like, man, goodness. Yo, I am shocked. I'm not going to lie. I really am shocked. So let's go to watch this.
Austin Metcalf's behavioral report dropped yesterday, and let's just say he is not the kid that everybody was painting him out to be. Let's just go through a couple of things that was in this boy's past. So first and foremost, he's a very violent kid. Okay, he has assault charges. A defense attorney testified that Austin was taken into custody at the age of 10 after allegedly shoving another student during a capture the flag game in May 2018. Bullying allegations. Newly disclosed material reportedly included allegations that Austin bullied black students. Racist graffiti. Austin and his twin brother Hunter were reportedly identified in an offense report involving graffiti containing racial and anti-Semitic material, including KKK and Kill All Black People, Heil Hitler, and an upside down cross. The kid was on probation. Defense attorney said Austin Hunter received 12 months of probation in connection with that graffiti incident. Racial slurs. Defense counsel said video/text messages from Austin's phone allegedly showed repeated use of racial slurs, including the N-word. Last but not least, fights. Prosecutors acknowledged that Austin had a history of getting into fights. So with all that being said, when Austin and his brother were walking over to that tent, it's okay to say that they already had preconceived feelings towards black people. So when they went over there to Karmelo, the wrong one, right? They felt like they can punk him because they have a history of doing so. So I don't want to hear anybody talking about character, okay? Because we just read the documented character of Austin Metcalf. Now, I'm not saying that he deserved to be deleted. Not at all, right? No one deserves to be deleted. But let's not sit here and act like this boy's history does not paint a clear picture of who he is, on top of his dad calling Karmelo a watermelon felon.
Right, and that's what
this type of behavior is learned. It's learned at home.
And that is, and he, you know what? He is 100% correct. And I was about to say the same thing. Honestly, when you guys saw the way that the father reacted, you should have pretty much figured out what you're dealing with the kids. Okay, straight up. Let's listen to this.
So Austin Metcalf's criminal behavioral report dropped yesterday, and so did Carmelo Anthony's. And these are not the two same kind of students, okay? So Austin Metcalf had a criminal history. He's been to jail before, and Carmelo Anthony has no criminal history, has never been to jail. But let me just read a couple of things that they are alleging to basically paint a character of Carmelo Anthony. So first and foremost, his ex-girlfriend reported that he was stalking her. Now, what kind of stalking?
Well, I just told you.
She alleged and told school administrators that she was afraid of him and that he wouldn't accept their breakup. So I don't know what exactly that means and how that's stalking. Maybe he was texting her a little too much and stuff like that.
Well,
prosecutors described
they
it.
just said that she called it stalking because she said that he was driving past her house over and over again, when she did not want him to be there. And she said that he refused to break up when she was trying to break up. So that would be like stalking. He's, continuously coming around her house and doing the most.
Minute pattern of an obsession with guns, knives, and fighting. That's neither here nor there. Okay. You can have a picture of a gun or a school fight in your phone and they would paint that picture of you. Okay. But if you don't have any criminal history to back up the claim, doesn't really matter. Okay. Threatening, disturbing messages. Prosecutor said that Anthony sent his ex a disturbing message and a photo of a knife shortly before the killing. We don't really know the context of what was said with the picture. You know what I mean? Next, it says that the message says that he was on the verge. Prosecutor said Anthony's message his ex-girlfriend that he was on the verge and included a picture of a knife on the morning of the killing. So what they're trying to do is paint the picture that this was an angry black guy who was obsessed with fighting, guns, and he found his victim. That's what they're trying to paint Karmelo as, right? I'm on the verge. How do we know he wasn't about to commit suicide? How do we know that? We don't know that.
Right.
He was obviously in a breakup with his girlfriend. He was obsessed with her. He was supposedly stalking her, right? So the message with the knife and the actual message on the verge, to me, that's suicide.
Right. I mean, right. It could mean that. That's why I said we don't know exactly what he means, what he meant when he used the word "I'm on the verge." That could be referring to so many different things. Okay. Period. Unless he has a whole message basically indicating what he's talking about, we can only assume. That's it.
Right? Not, I'm going to go to a track meet and put this knife in someone's heart.
What?
I'm not getting that from this, right? But that's the picture that they're trying to paint. Last but not least, they say he had a stabbing fantasy. Prosecutor said messages contained an alleged statement about fantasizing about stabbing someone and licking the blood from the blade. I really, 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 really want to see that message. I really do. I really want to see that message because sounds a little off to me. So Austin Metcalf's criminal.
The thing is, if they do bring this up in court, I'm pretty sure they will put these messages up. And if it's not true, I'm pretty sure his attorney, Karmelo Anthony's attorney, will go against that and show that it's a lie. And I hope it's not true. Okay. But again, the verge thing could mean many different things. We already know what she meant when she said the stalking thing, because she tells us, the ex-girlfriend tells us that he was riding past her house and stuff and everything. So I don't know. This is, for me, all three of them are a mess. Let's see if they got anything different. Let's see what else they got. Okay, let's see what else they got. I'm trying to see if I can find anything different. So both of them have that. Gosh. No, he wasn't no angel. Shit. Let me see what she get ready to say. Shit.
Are you as shocked as I am with all this
Yeah, I'm
background
shocked.
information coming out about Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony? I am
Yes.
shooketh to my core.
I
I'm
am
literally on the floor. 75 pages of background on Carmelo Anthony, 20 plus pages of background on Austin Metcalf, and I don't know whose is worse. Both are despicable.
Mm.
Let's go through what I gathered online and start with Austin Metcalf because this began when he was 10. He was
Hey.
arrested in May of 2018 in connection with an assault involving another student during a game of Capture the Flag. And they also added in there that him and his brother were bullying and assaulting a female student while in elementary school. I'm sorry, where are they learning this at?
That's what I want to know.
Then Austin and Hunter were identified in an offense report concerning graffiti, but not just any graffiti, extremely racist graffiti. They put KKK, all black people, the N-word, Hail Hitler, and an upside down cross. This is disgusting. Austin and Hunter received 12 months of juvenile probation in Denton County. No wonder they had this little gentleman's agreement to not disclose these young boys' background information.
Told you. That's exactly why they did it. Because they knew already that that background was a hot mess. But it did Carmelo some injustice because it prevented other people from knowing what Austin and his brother backgrounds were. Even, I probably wouldn't have went along with that if I was the attorney for Carmelo, because even though it would, allow Carmelo information to be exposed, but at the same time, it would have exposed him and his brother's information, which might have made the jury look at this in another way. Okay.
Video and text messages from Austin's phone showed that he specifically used the N-word with the hard R as recently as the day before the stabbing. I already knew he was racist. In 2023, allegedly, Austin was bullying a black student at school. In 2024, he had another altercation with a female where he knocked her on the ground and punched her in the stomach. I'm telling you guys, I'm disgusted. After Austin was kicked out of a football game, records reportedly show Austin later texted somebody that he was about to beat the other kid. Okay, that's just normal kid stuff, I guess. But then the background material provided an incident from the previous track meet. Austin found out that somebody that wasn't on their team was behind their bench talking wild. And he responded with, "Kill that person." I'm sorry, what? He was calling the teacher a bitch. One record said that Austin told an official that he couldn't control it, wasn't aware what was coming out of his mouth. That's no home training right there. He had anger and rage counseling. Didn't seem to help. At least 5 times. Connected to a football game? Is it really that serious? Is it that serious? He was banned from basketball games for the remainder of a season after he was yelling profanity at another player. This is where it gets really crazy, okay? As if the other stuff wasn't worse enough, he had a gun-related school suspension. And that was because him and another student got caught talking about actually bringing a firearm into school the next day. And look, that came from a 20-plus page background report from Austin Metcalf. Carmelo Anthony has 75 pages. I'm sorry, are they double spacing? This video is already 3 minutes long, but let's just get into him now. Back in 2021, Carmelo Anthony told another student about robbing somebody for $300. What? In 2021, he was suspended from school for 3 days for fighting and was warned another incident was going to result in expulsion. I'm sorry, how are these boys captain of any sports team? Who's picking captain? In 2023, he said, "I'm a shoot."
I do not know. For real, for real. Damn.
Up the school tomorrow with my blick. And then said, "I would never actually do that." Okay. It's 2026. We cannot play like that. And back in 2023, we could not play like that either. This is just more lack of home training. In 2023, Anthony said he wanted to vandalize someone's house because I just feel like it. I got a grudge. Excuse me, boy. In 2024, he discussed having a firearm in his pocket at a party. In 2024, he thought he might have to throw his weapon away if he was going to the state fair because they may have had metal detectors. It doesn't say what type of weapon. At one point, he admitted to stealing a watch and earbuds in separate burglaries. And this is really crazy. His girlfriend, I guess, reached into his bag and a knife and a gun fell out.
Yeah.
And then there were photos and videos of Karmelo with firearms and making threats. And then they found a note on his phone that had racial slurs concerning Black, white, and Hispanic people. One
That's
message
what I said.
reportedly said, "I hate gay people." And then they said that he repeatedly threatened his girlfriend, including messages threatening to shoot her. Is this the same girlfriend who posted a "I stand with you" post for him? Another message showed that he had threatened her with a knife. Maybe it is best that Austin is gone and Karmelo's going to be locked up. Because what? Are these the type of kids I'm about to send my kids to school with? I don't even want to send my kids to school anymore. This
Oh my God.
is very disheartening. And then a particularly relevant message concerning violence stated, "When I stab somebody, I'm going to lick the blood off the blade." Bro, come on. I'm floored, you guys. There was also messages of Anthony saying, "I like punching people. When I get mad, I see red. When I get mad, I black out. When I get mad, I can't control myself." And these were messages after he moved from Louisiana to Texas. And I guess he had multiple suspensions for fighting when he was in Louisiana. And then text messages showed that Karmelo Anthony admitted to punching girls in the face on at least 2 occasions. Excuse me. And in 2024, there was an attempted assault on a teacher. And then his former girlfriend accused him of stealing her phone and stalking her. And this may be the nail in the coffin for Karmelo Anthony. On the morning of the Metcalf stabbing, Karmelo allegedly texts his ex-girlfriend a picture of a knife with a message saying "low-key on the verge." I'm done. I'm done with people. You as shocked as I am with all this background information.
But the thing, she did a good job. The thing is, we don't know what the verge, what he was talking about. I mean, we can try to figure it out, but I mean, we don't know exactly. Okay, he could be talking about himself, just like somebody else said, or any daggone thing. But I tell you what, all of those kids, those 3 backgrounds are a mess, and I mean that on everything. Goodness, I'm like I said before, when I heard it, I was shocked. Of course, we can't forget it. What's up, Jake? What's going on? And thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, Mama Magazine. Thank you so much for stopping by, hon. Thank you. So, like I said, yeah. So, I mean, they both, man, I can't believe this shit that I'm here. I mean, y'all, they talking about GUNs bringing them to school, you know, SHOTING up some shit, getting teachers. I mean, it just, I mean, what? Who does this? And at the time, if this is true about Karmelo, back then, he needed his ass whooped, and so did Austin and Hunter. For real, for real. Shit. And then this girl told me she stand by him, right? So, I mean, was she lying about the stalking or what? I don't know. Girls will do that, though. You know, you'll still talk to the person and all that stuff. Man, this is weird. Anyway, let's see what else we got. So what y'all got to say about that? Yeah, I was shocked. I mean, when I knew they've probably been suspended, you know, from fighting, you know, things of that nature. But damn, when I heard this extensive list with all this stuff, these allegations and stuff, and some are not allegations because they have proof. I was shocked, like I said before, you guys. I really was. But with all that being said, if Karmelo Anthony did engage in self-defense and it's proven, it is what it is, because honestly, it still doesn't, you know, these text messages and stuff, it still doesn't say he can't defend himself if someone put him in that situation to defend himself. He said, I think they were lying about it. And if the text was made in October, that could have been for Halloween. I don't know. But you know what? When he get on that stand, I'm pretty sure that he will be asked about that. Just like, Austin can't answer any questions, but his brother can answer some questions because his brother was also, doing stuff with his, with Austin. Let's see what else they got here. And they actually said it's more than 53 documents involving Hunter and Austin Metcalf, okay? So it's 53, not 23, okay? And I'm also shocked about this too. Allegedly, they claim that allegedly Carmelo was talking slick shit about black people. He's black, Hispanic people, and white people. I definitely want to see that message right there because that's tripped out. I want to know what type of shit he was talking. I want to know what he was talking about. So let's see what else we got here. Okay, let's see what else they said on TikTok. This is a hot ass mess, man. But again, if the defense has some incriminating evidence, you know what I'm saying, that shows that Austin basically, made Carmelo feel like his life was in jeopardy or whatever the case is. If the defense has some records, some evidence that shows this, then it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what else they got up here. It is what it is. So yeah, 53 of them. Look at it. Hope I got to see this right here. Wait, they got a song playing. They got him a little filter on and everything. 53 documented incidents involving Austin Hunter. It's not 23, it's 53, and it's 73 or 70 something for Carmelo. Boy, I wish we could read all of that. That's tripped out, y'all. I don't know what to say. I just really don't. Oh, wow. Okay. So let's see. What else can we look up with them? I think I told y'all everything that I wanted to tell you guys, honestly. Now, they did say that the judge could decide tomorrow, today, Saturday, okay, if he will grant Carmelo a retrial. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me take that off of there. I was up here looking up some more stuff, and hope we got this shit on here. Okay, let's see. I'm just looking over here. So, okay, so they said that the defense will have a slew of witnesses. Okay, so that may be a good thing, for Karmelo Anthony, because even though we just found out about some of these texts and their background, we still got to look at what's in front of us. Did Karmelo Anthony utilize self-defense? Okay. So let's see. We don't need to see that. Okay, let's see. All right, let me go back over and see if y'all said anything. This girl right here was good when she told that little story. I sure would like to see what he said about black people, though. For real. Let's see what y'all said. Well, we know. Yes, seems like he talk a lot of shit. It really did. Let's see on TV. You look at this dude, you wouldn't even think he was saying all this shit. Gosh, you wouldn't even think he was saying all that. Well, good kids be running their damn mouth saying stuff, okay? I mean, I can say some things myself, and I was always a good kid. You know what I'm saying? Stop. I can say some things. See, the thing for me is this right here. A couple of things I don't like to hear, and that's from either one of them. Okay, I don't like to hear about the GUNs going to school, whether you plan or not. Okay, that's not a good look for either. And they did say that Austin allegedly threatened that, as well as Carmelo. And then, okay, the punching girls. That right there is a no-no. And they both are alleged to have done that. Then the calling your teacher BITCH, that was Hunter. But then they say that Carmelo allegedly did something pertaining to a teacher as well. These kids are similar. I mean, I know y'all hate to hear that because I'm saying similar in some of the things that they were doing, if this is true. And then the racial stuff. We already know that Austin allegedly put up that racist, stuff that he did, the graffiti. But at the same time, if this is true about Carmelo, who said they claim he had said some racist stuff about using, I don't know if they said slurs or he just was saying some racist stuff. But he said that about blacks, whites, and Hispanics. And then he said, allegedly, he disliked GAY people. Actually said hate. So that's it's weird. Okay. Of course. Right, if they take him out of context, right, they would. Right, he doesn't have any records, but I mean, that could be funny, and a lot of people don't have records, and they do stuff. Not yet, shit. Now let me stop. Shit, saying some of that stuff. The only thing I'm thinking about is what if he, would have done any of those things. Just like Austin. What if he would have did any of those things? So honestly, if I found messages like that, and my child wrote that shit, you going to a counselor. You're going to find out, or a mental, what do you call those people? A psychiatrist or something. Because I want to see what are you talking about, and why are you typing this type of stuff? They could have, but I'm pretty sure. Remember, they showed this in the trial, okay? I know y'all don't realize that. In the hearing, they showed that today. So they actually showed them that at the hearing. So if this is made up, don't you think that Carmelo's team would have said that? And they didn't say that at all. Now, they may have taken these messages out of context, like Jermaine said, you know what I'm saying? But as far as making it up and it's not for real, they showed that stuff in the trial today. In the hearing. But again, the impact on his retrial, if he gets it, I don't think it will be as severe, because the reason why is because him and Hunter in Austin basically did some of the same things, except the bullying. Karmelo did not do no bullying, or I don't think he was in all these fights like Hunter and Austin allegedly were. Y'all, I'm using my daggone hair massager. Let me see what y'all said. They did. I just read here listening. They showed, I think they told us what all he did. That list that they said that he did, you don't need to see no private messages, because all the stuff he been engaging in, It's doing, what it need to do. So they don't need to really show anything else. But actually, that's where you're not 100% true at. Because the thing is, at this hearing, it is what it is. But at the actual trial, they will look at the fact of, they will look at their background. Okay, the jurors are going to listen to that. All right, if I'm in the jury and you're telling me that Austin running around here being racist, beating up girls and shit, got mad about another situation almost similar to the one that he got unalive in, and you're telling me all this stuff, I'm going to be looking at this. And I'm pretty sure the other jurors are going to be looking at it too. Just like with Karmelo stuff. Why do you think they did the gentleman's agreement? They did it because they didn't want this to come out. Okay, prosecutors, the prosecution is the one that came up with this agreement. It was a verbal agreement, okay? And then obviously he wants to paint the picture. He wanted to paint the picture that it was beneficial for Karmelo, which it was, but it was just as beneficial for Austin, because if that would have gotten out, it would have changed some jurors' minds. That's why they didn't want it to be out. Okay, so now the gloves are off. Everything is being revealed. If you think that the jurors are not going to look at and listen to all this, y'all must be mistaken. They're going to bring out whatever they need to, regarding their behaviors and everything. The defense team is definitely going to put stuff out to let y'all know what's up. And then the prosecution is going to do the same thing. So we're going to be hearing a lot of information, because you're talking about 53 pages for Austin and 73 for Karmelo. And I would love to sit here and read every single thing on it, because I just want to know. Okay, so I mean, if they can't use that, that will be good. But let me look that up and see, okay? Can they use any of that? What is that called? I don't know about that one. Let's see. I'm trying to find some information on that. Let's see. They answered every question except the right one. Yeah, they answered every question except the right one. So I don't know for sure about that. I don't know for sure, because I can't find any information this quick on it. I'm pretty sure it's in there. But the thing is, hopefully you're right. You said a lot of it won't be, it will be inadmissible. It will have to pertain to this, you know what? But I'll tell you what, some of it can pertain to it, okay? Because if someone has a behavior that indicates they are basically destructive, okay? They're violent, because they're a bully. They've been doing all this weird shit. They can use that, okay? They can use that because it will pertain to the abbey, okay? Just like with Karmelo, if they want to, they can use it. Right, you said it's up to the judge. So I think they will be looking at this because, again, um, I say, and I'm not even a lawyer, that it can pertain, I mean, it can, you know, be used because they can easily try to connect that past behavior to what happened under that tent. Since Austin got into a situation, allegedly got into a situation similar to that before, they can easily say, yeah, he did this before. He got mad because someone said something reckless, and then he told the person to kill the ML. Man, I wasn't even meant to say that. Sorry, YouTube. To KILL the MF. Who says this over someone talking some smack about your team? So of course they would definitely look at that and use that because a good attorney would be like, so he's getting all worked up like this over someone calling his team a name. The same thing that Carmelo allegedly did. He called the team ass. So did he do the same thing? Did he get so mad then that he started to be more aggressive and then try to act like Carmelo was the aggressive one? They both probably were somewhat aggressive, but Austin could have got even more aggressive. So that's how they can use that information, just like with Carmelo. They can be like, look at some of the text messages, even though they're text messages, and they can possibly take them out of context, and you really don't know exactly what he's referring to when he says, I'm on the verge. Just because he shows a KNIFE, it doesn't mean he's going to use that. Or he's indicating that he's going to use it on someone. He could have been talking about he's going to use it on himself because he was, upset about the breakup or whatever him and his girlfriend was going through. But I still think they can use this stuff if they want to, because this right here shows you the type of behaviors these kids have, okay? Their conduct and things of that nature. The gentleman's agreement is off the table now. So now the gloves are off. Right, we don't know how it's going to play out. We will see, though. No, that's what you say. They said that he did call, he did say a racist name. He called him an N. That's what somebody said. It doesn't mean anything. They said that kids were scared of that dude and his brother. So they may have been scared of him. You see, that's what a defense attorney would say, okay? That they were scared, afraid of this dude and his sibling. And that's a known fact that he was running around, bullying people, especially black kids. So that shows that he's racist. He just had an incident, what did they say? In 2023, 24, 25, 25 or so. I can't remember, or 24. He just had an incident then. Right, and then they wrote the racist graffiti and just did the most. So it's proven that they did racist stuff. And they definitely did that in something else. I can't even remember so much. It's so much. 53 pages for him, 73 for Carmelo. It's a lot. It's a lot for both. And I mean that on everything. Just like I would like to know what Carmelo was talking about. What did he say? Because they said some racial slurs about, black people, white people, and Hispanics. So I would like to know what he's talking about, what he said. As simple as that, So the thing that I hope that happens that, they have more evidence to show us, okay? I hope that somebody have some type of conscience. And if they did record and no one knows and they still got that recording, they need to bring that on out so we can see exactly what happened, what was said, what happened, and everything. Because I really don't believe it's just, he came over there and politely asked him, who he was and etc. And then he got reckless, and next thing you know, he going in his bag. Abby, I don't believe that. I just really don't. I told y'all before I did not believe that, and I still don't. Okay. One thing I must say, just because this kid had a KNIFE in his pocket, not in his pocket, his book bag, it doesn't mean he was planning on using it. Okay. Also, if he was just going berserk like they trying to paint the picture of, he could have used that on anybody he came in contact with before he got to that track meet. You know, he rode the bus. He could have went off there. He could have went off at the track meet way before Hunter came over there. Okay, he was in a good mood anyway because he just gave what's his name? He dapped Eddie up, and he was talking to Eddie. He said the biggest thing is the gentleman's agreement affected how witnesses were cross-examined. Without the agreement, the witness contradictory accounts can be questioned. Right. The thing about it too, with that gentleman's agreement, when they did that verbal agreement, it basically was used to protect, you know, Austin Metcalf's behavior. Let's keep it real. You don't want to bring it out so the jurors can see that or hear about that. And then on top of that, they did some trickery that forced Anthony to only have a couple of minutes to decide if he wanted to testify for himself. You said the boys put up the tents earlier that day. They could have had a tent as well, I guess. That's what you're trying to say? Yeah. You said they could have had twos as well, right? They could have. Like I said, the whole situation is a hot ass mess. Okay, could have been avoided all the way around. But now knowing that for sure, now I know that Austin was a hothead and kids were scared of him and his brother. Shit, heck yeah. Them black kids gonna support him because they don't want to get their ass face caved in or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? For running their mouths. So I just wish, like I said, they had some actual footage of the entire situation, and then we would know. I'm still shocked though. I really am, because that's plainly ridiculous. Okay, let's see. Let me stop sharing real quick. Yeah, that's plainly ridiculous. Let me make sure I don't have any more updated information. So one thing that I am glad that some of these news outlets are being fair. They're not just like telling you everything what Karmelo did. They're telling you both about both, just like I just did. That's because they had a gentleman's agreement, okay? Yeah, they'll be able to do it there, okay? And you need to, because the reason why you need to, because you need to do this so you can show, the jury how he is. Just like, the prosecution would do the same thing with Anthony, okay? But again, we don't know because Karmelo Anthony does not have any charges. Okay, all we know is what they are telling us. You know what I'm saying? That he was in numerous altercations when he lived in Louisiana, I guess. And then when he got out to Texas, we know everything that he went through. And so, of course, it would be good for any attorney to use this to paint a picture of the other person. All right, so let's see what else we got here. I think that's it. Okay, so I think that's it, y'all, because I don't see anything else. Yeah. So on Monday, if not today, because the judge may, surprise us and go ahead and make his decision. He may even make it today. I didn't think about it. He may make it. But if not today, he certainly will have that answer come Monday. No, they rumored it, but then the mom and everybody else took up for him and tried to convince everybody that Austin and his brother were good kids. Okay. And Karmelo, right, he has not been proven to be a bad kid. He's proven to have some bad behaviors, okay, from these text messages, just like Austin. But he has no criminal background or anything. These are just text messages where he's running his damn mouth, saying stuff that's clearly inappropriate. So that's why I say, yeah, he may have done some bad text messaging and stuff and made some weird choices regarding that. But he doesn't have any prior convictions or anything like that, And then they said also, I heard somebody said that Austin allegedly hit his mother, punched his mother. I don't know how true that is. Okay, that's why I'm using the word allegedly. And if he did that, that's plainly ridiculous. Yeah, text messages and stuff. So anyway, what else y'all got to say about this entire stuff we just went over? I really hope they release the whole 20 pages, no, the whole 53 pages and the whole 75. Let me stop so I can read everything. That's a lot of reading, huh? But I will scan right through it. Yeah, I'm still shocked, especially with Karmelo. Let me see this new evidence the jury never saw. They only talk about the gentleman's agreement stuff. Okay. So we're getting ready to get out of here, you guys. Yeah, and right. His dad, that's Listen, this is not proving that he robbed anyone. That's what he said in a text message. You got to realize something. These are text messages, okay? Just because he says that he did this, it doesn't mean he did it. Okay? He never got arrested, not even nothing. So we don't know if that's true. He could have just been running off at the damn mouth trying to act hard. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be hard, whatever the case it is. And then making violent threats. Again, we need to see proof of that, the violent threats. He did, and definitely if he got suspended, I'm pretty sure they got proof of that. I wouldn't say he was like bad like that, okay? Now, if he's hitting them girls and stuff, again, this is all in text messaging. I don't think he got in trouble or anything about that. He talked about bringing a GU to school, but he never did bring it, okay? And then at the state fair, I don't know if he actually had it or not. And as far as the robbing a person, again, he's just talking. You said that's what's in the messages. It doesn't mean he really did it right. About what we read everything that we saw, But if he's riding, Austin is definitely right. So why do y'all always just go to one person? They both are similar in regard to some of this stuff that I just read. But that still doesn't excuse the fact if Austin actually did do something that made Karmelo feel like his life was in jeopardy. Those messages and stuff, it doesn't erase that, okay? At all. It does not erase that. If they have actual proof, they get some witnesses up there. Some of these damn people who claim they were there, like the dude at the fair, not at the fair, he was there, and he's the one that said that the Metcalf boys called Karmelo the N-word. Okay, so hopefully they got him to be up there along with all the other witnesses and stuff. And then he said he got a bunch of witnesses, and I think the lawyer said evidence too. So we will see. They a trip. I'm gonna just put it like that. A trip. Yeah, he is, but we got to also realize what happened, because we don't know for sure, because like we don't know for sure if he actually committed the M word, okay? It could have very well been self-defense, okay? That's what the retrial is all about, to determine if that is a fair, sentence, and also if the charges are fair. You got that right. Yep. No. If you ab someone, you can justify that if it's self-defense. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about him calling somebody in or whatever. We're talking about if he actually did more stuff than what we see in that video. Because remember, that video is grainy as shit. And it did look like more than one person was hitting him. Okay? It looked like it was more than one person. Because I remember that video, the little grainy ass video that we saw and stuff, in the enhancement. So if it's proven that he did make Karmelo fear for his safety or life or whatever, and he had to use self-defense, then it is what it is. Okay? And as far as those text messages, again, he didn't do any of those things that he got that was in these text messages. Besides, like I said, a possibility, that he did stuff as far as maybe with the teacher. If they got records of that, then we would know that he did that with the teacher. But as far as talking about we fantasize about all that stuff, that's just talk. We don't know for sure if he ever did that stuff. Because so far, before he got arrested, he had never done any of that stuff. So it is what it is. Let's see what else y'all said over here. Yeah, him being a bully is relevant because that's why I said they can use some of the information they just found that the gentleman's agreement basically hid. Because if he has a history of bullying, right? Okay, if he has a history of bullying people, and especially black people and stuff, and doing the most, they can say he was basically doing the same thing to Karmelo. Because let's keep it real. I know y'all don't like the dude, but the thing is, let's keep this real. Karmelo wasn't messing with him. Hunter came over there and started messing with Karmelo first. And then Karmelo told him to leave him alone. But no, Hunter insists on continuing to mess with him. And how they say he is the aggressor. And I'm talking about Karmelo Anthony being aggressive. The aggressor. I don't know how they come up with that. Because I know good and damn well they're not talking about the fact that he said your team is ass or something like that, because they do that all the time at sports events. You say it is his propensity to use violence as well, right? So we will see. Let me tell you straight up, we will see. I do believe that he did self-defense. Put aside all these text messages and stuff, I really do believe he utilized self-defense, because for one damn thing, it just does not add up. First and foremost, I said that just because he said that in a text message, it doesn't mean he actually did it. He didn't get caught. Okay, see, if you don't have no proof that he did something, it's irrelevant in the court of law. Okay, I can go and write a damn text right now and tell you that I damn robbed 25 people. But if you don't have any proof that I did it, then I mean, it is what it is. That doesn't mean I'm telling the truth. Just like it doesn't mean that Karmelo Anthony was telling the truth. He could have just been saying that shit to fit in with his boys. All that he gonna sell some drugs. If he didn't actually do it, he never got caught doing it. It's just what he wrote, just or what he texts. It doesn't mean it's true. People test shit all the time. Jermaine, let's tell them some of the shit that I be saying. Okay, I be telling Jermaine, I'm gonna F him up. I'm gonna pimp smack him. I'm gonna unalive him, all types of weird shit. But does that mean that I'm really gonna do all of these things? Hell no. I'm just playing with him. So if something were to happen, and I did something right, like self-defense, okay? And I'm trying to say it's self-defense, and then they brought those text messages up. Yeah, y'all will be thinking, oh, Shay's tube said she was gonna unalive Jermaine and do all this other shit. When in reality, I'm just joking around, acting silly. So you just never know if this dude was just talking or what. But the thing is, all these other things he was saying, he didn't do it. Okay? He did not rob anyone, or any of these things. No type of record or anything. But we do think that he did because the girlfriend stated it, is the stalking, okay? We don't know that it's true, but if she said that this is what he did, in a few more things. We do know those things possibly could have happened. But as far as Austin, the stuff that they did, they have records or they have proof. The racial slurs, writing it up, the graffiti, the hitting the kid in the stomach, the girl, bullying. They have proof of all that. Proof. Of course. Listen, we don't know if he robbed anybody or not. Okay, he didn't get caught. It doesn't matter in the court of law. You can say anything. You can say Shay's Tube robbed the person down the street, but if Shay's Tube didn't get caught, it is what it is. You can't use that. That's hearsay. You don't know if that shit is true. The thing about it, if she's so against Karmelo, why was she in court with the family? They definitely could. And look, if he gets retried, they can call her up then and ask. And they can definitely ask Karmelo about all them damn messages if they choose to. Just like they need to ask Hunter about some things. I don't know what he was talking about. He could just be talking. You know how boys do. Trying to be cool and shit. I mean, grown ass people do it. You know what I'm saying? Or, you could be playing around. And I think he was most likely just talking and trying to fit in and, especially in Louisiana shit. Don't tell her where they lived at and stuff. And then he got to Frisco. You know how they go. I'm from Louisiana. I'm going to come out here, and be tripping and stuff like that in my mind, writing shit in text messages. But he didn't do none of these things he said. He was a good ass student with a 3.7 grade point average. So that clearly, I mean, even though you got some people who got high grade point average and they are good and they be doing some weird shit. But what I'm saying is that he did not do any of these things that he talked about. I mean, he did a couple things, I believe, but not the most important, the most violent things. He did not do that. Like, for example, going here and SHOTING up the school or whatever the case is. He didn't do none of that. Like I said, all this other stuff would be looked at as hearsay or whatever the case is, unless they got proof to back up what they're claiming. But I say if he gets through all of this, even if you get a reduced sentence, I still say, just in case, I still say, he needs to go see a psychiatrist. Because if he did say he would lick the blood off the KNIFE. I don't give a damn if you playing or not. Something ain't right upstairs. So you'll say some weird shit like that. So that's why I'm saying that I think he needs to, see a psychiatrist if he hasn't already done it. You know what I'm saying? So for right now, Austin is not alive, so he can't be, helped or anything. But if he was alive, I would be saying something similar about him. He needs to go talk to someone, a psychiatrist, because I'm trying to figure out, why you won't acting, like you're acting, why you doing certain things, why you feel like you can just hit females and shit and, all the other stuff. It's plain ridiculous. Oh yeah, your nephew, right? You said your nephew who plays GTA. If you heard him in there talking about his character, you would think he was the biggest thug, right? And I know some things he basically said. It's just like tonight, a dog jumped up on my son. And let me tell you something. My son is pretty good too. But this is what he said. He said, oh hell, oh shit, cussing. And I really never even heard him really cuss or anything. So the thing is, people do stuff. People say things. Kids definitely text things trying to be, cool like their friends. It's like I said, as far as the stalking and shit and all of that, if the girl is, saying the truth, which I believe she probably is, because I know how you men are. You be stalking and shit. I got a whole stalker right now that be stalking me. You be posing as other people. So yeah, I believe that. I really do. So, I hope she told his mom and his dad. Now they know, so they can talk to their son about that. Right, definitely. We need to know exactly what he was talking about in reference to what. It may, I have violent fantasies and they never came out. I write stories and stuff. And I have told Jermaine some weird shit, but I ain't never acted it out. I told him I wanted to write a story about torturing someone. Just basically cut his tongue in half, you know what I'm saying? And so you shut his damn mouth up. Am I actually gonna do that? No. I'm gonna put on some brass knuckles and punch him dead in his mouth. And things like that. Am I actually going to do this? No. Okay, so sometimes people do say stuff in text messages. It doesn't mean they're really going to do it. And sometimes they do let it come out. Right, they've been acting out since 10 years old, but Karmelo been doing little shit, and suspended from school for fighting. Okay, for fighting. What else did they say? For fighting and something else. Those are all issues that can be dealt with for real. His parents should have got on that ass, okay? On everything, okay? Period. Yeah, we're talking about this one right here and stuff, but we're just tying everything together. That's it. So I think, if he gets a retrial, I actually believe they are going to look at all of their past behavior, okay? Because you have to in order to assess how they act, okay? And the fact that Austin has a reputation of being a bully and people being scared of him and being a racist, they're going to look at all of that, okay? They're going to look at all that. Just like with Karmelo, they're going to look at certain things, period, whether y'all want to believe it or not. Now, if they use it, I don't know, but they're going to look at it unless, it's they don't use it. And I doubt they'll do another gentleman's agreement because for one damn thing, it's already out in public. So it is what it is. First and foremost, you don't know if that's all they did. This is what you're saying because based on that grainy ass video, you don't know if that's the only thing they did and exactly how many people were doing stuff. Those other witnesses said it was more than one person hitting him. And they did more than just shoving. Okay, stop saying it's just a little shove. Were you there? Right. Shit, the only thing with those violent fantasies, you need to go see a damn psychiatrist because I'm trying to figure out why the hell you want to lick blood off the knife. He kind of reminds me of somebody else telling me that they I forgot how that weirdo said that. He said he wanted to ab someone and he want to I can't exactly remember what he said, but whatever he said to me, it was weird, and I told him that he does not want to do that. So when people talk like that, unless they're just basically playing, you got to wonder if they need to go see someone, a psychiatrist, but that's weird. So if he said all of that stuff that was in that text message, in which I believe he did put it in text message, okay, if he wasn't joking, so that's why we need to, when he gets on that stand, we need to ask him if they can, because I don't know if they can use that. If they can use that, and they can ask him then, what did he mean by that? You know, and I'm thinking that they probably can use it, okay, because of the situation that happened. And so that if that's the truth, because I'm not a lawyer, so, but if that's the truth, they can ask him, what did he mean? And then you'll know. Did he mean that, or was he joking, or what? Or was he just trying to scare his girlfriend? Because sometimes, let me tell you something, dudes will say stuff, and sometimes women do the same thing just to make their significant other scared. So I don't know. Then, I don't know for sure. What's up, J4? That doesn't matter. You keep on saying the same thing. Nobody cares about that. Okay? Because the thing is maybe those black people like them. Okay? Maybe they liked him. Or maybe they were scared, because a lot of people, they did say a lot of people feared those two twins. So maybe those black people did. Maybe he was friends with them. Who knows? That doesn't mean that applies to everyone, though. And just because they're black, and they supported Offset, it doesn't mean nothing. Shit. So what? They supported Offset. Y'all say that's nothing. Y'all said leave the race out of it, but you put it in there now. He still was damn racist. I don't give a damn if he had a black girlfriend, if he had ex with a black girl. He still was racist. Okay, and that's a known fact. Okay, you gonna say the 3Ks, and then you're going to say, unalive all blacks? What do you think that is, Wesil? I don't give a damn if he had 50,000 black people come there and they supporting him. Okay, I don't care about that. You got racist damn white people who marry black women or black men and still be racist. That doesn't mean any damn thing to me. Shit, I got white friends who thought I was down with them, who said basically things about other black people. Negative things. I had a whole white chick called the black dude that she was just talking to, the Nigger. So that didn't mean a dang thing. It's like I can have a bunch of white friends and could be racist. And they can support me and all. And I can still be racist. Who cares? The thing is this right here. It's a known fact that they said that he was going around the school bullying black people. And he wrote some racist graffiti with the 3Ks and said, unalive black people. What more do you need? Right, they were probably threatened. Come on now, you talking about what? They probably were in that Texas down there. Child, please. I used to live in DFW. I never had any problems. I lived out in Keller, Texas, which is cool, but they may think that I was one of those type, black people. You know how it goes. You're a good black person, so they cool with you. Okay? Just like out here, the same thing. So, that doesn't mean that, everybody out here is not racist. Some people speak to you every day and be racist. They would even speak up for you, but still be racist. That doesn't mean a damn thing. And those kids might have been scared, much like this Nolan Wells case, a lot of people probably are scared. That's why they won't speak out. Handsome J4 in the place to be. What you say? You don't believe That's what's up, Queen. What you mean, LeVon? Thank you so much for being here too. You said it doesn't matter if Austin was a bully. Carmelo didn't know him. He was being bullied by Austin in this one instance, but you can't unalive a person over that. Right, you can't. But if Austin did more than what we know of, okay, then that could justify self-defense, the use of self-defense. That's why I hope he does get a retrial, okay, so we can see what other evidence they have and what other witnesses are going to say, and more importantly, what Carmelo is going to say. And then whatever happens, happens. You know what I'm saying? We don't know for sure what happened underneath that tent. We got a grainy ass damn video. We got these damn kids, that's all Austin's friends. Where was Carmelo friends at? What about putting Eddie up on the damn stand, asking him why did he invite Carmelo over there? Why didn't he break up the altercation before it even started? Once they started getting, mad, Eddie could have stopped it. He could have told Carmelo to come on. But what's up with all the inconsistent stories, the lies and shit? So all of that will be addressed. All of it. Right on. But I didn't say, Repsil, what are you talking about? No one said that you should unalive someone for being a racist, okay? What I said is that if Austin did something like, did more than what we think we know, and it made Carmelo think that he feared for his life, then self-defense may be justified. We don't know exactly what went on because you weren't there. And then you got this grainy ass video. And these kids who are basically his friends. And then the ones who said that are friends with Carmelo, do we know that for sure? And do we know they weren't threatened? Do we know this? And the reason why I don't believe everything these kids say, because how the hell are you going to tell me none of these kids had a camera out, their phone out, and recorded that? We saw a video where one kid looks like he's holding up a damn video, his phone, recording. And then Eddie was recording, but then Eddie claimed that he was pretending to record. Y'all know good and damn well, anytime kids get into altercation, somebody is recording. Also, I read that allegedly, Austin likes to record his altercations. So if you think for 1 minute I believe that no one got video footage of this, y'all got me effed up. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. So no, you can't unalive someone just for being racist, okay? Or for being a bully. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what if he actually did more than what we think. And I do hope they have all these other witnesses up there too to testify, because some witnesses who I definitely believe, 2 of them, I believe that because now it's coming out that the boy said racist stuff. The other witness said, both of the witnesses said that he called Carmelo the N-word, the Nigger. And then y'all think because he got black friends, you can't be racist. So y'all crazy. A lot of black people, a lot of white people have black friends and be racist as hell. Just like a lot of black people be having white friends and be saying racist shit. I got friends that do this. So it is what it is. That's why I said if your life is in danger, just because you're a bully, it doesn't mean that someone should unalive you if you're not doing anything to make them feel like, you need to use self-defense. If your life is in danger, you could, Okay, it doesn't matter. He can just be a not. He cannot be a bully. If your life is in danger, you have the right to defend yourself. It's just like when that idiot broke into my house. I wish somebody would tell me I didn't have a right to defend myself. Okay, now where it would have went south is this right here. Once I had to f him up, right? Okay, and say he took off and ran, and then say I go run in my bedroom and get my GUN and start SHOOTING, then that would have been a whole nother story. Okay, you can't do that stupid shit. All right, but if he's breaking into my house and I walk in, from my bedroom, I come in the living room and see what was up, and then he started fighting me, and then started grabbing my daughter, twisting her arm. I got every right to defend myself, just like with Karmelo Anthony. If that boy did more stuff than what they're trying to, what they made y'all believe, okay? If he did more stuff and more people were involved, how can you tell Karmelo Anthony he wasn't scared for his life? The thing is, this retrial, that is what this retrial will be for. To retry him, okay? To see if what he's saying is true. That's why he needs to get himself up on the stand and testify on his behalf. That's why the defense attorneys need to present all the evidence that they have, all the witnesses and everything, so they can make a fair, so that the trial can be fair. Now, we don't know what the outcome of the trial will be if there is a retrial. But if he does not deserve to be incarcerated for 35 years on an murder charge, he does not need to be there. All right? Now, granted, I'm not saying that he won't get no charge, because I think Jermaine said, what did you say, Jermaine? Now, I don't know if he'll just get up out of prison. I don't know about that. But, just say if he get a lesser charge like manslaughter or, something like that. But then he can't get only a maximum up to 20 years. Okay? So that's a hell of a lot better than 35. If it's not proven that he did not, if it's proven that he did do self-defense, I forgot what they call it, but he used excessive force, then that would be a different charge in lesser amount sentence. Okay? So yeah, he needs to have a retrial. Hopefully they grant it. And we need to hear all of this over again. We need to see the witnesses that were not called up. We need to see evidence that was not included. We need to hear about their backgrounds. Okay, we need to hear about all of that. Right. Don't take accountability for the part that they did. See, what gets me is that nobody, all these grown, educated people, not one person besides me and maybe a couple other people and Jermaine, I think I was the first one who said this. I don't understand why no one realizes that this was done improperly, period. Okay? This boy was minding his business. He was called there first and foremost by Eddie. And I'm trying to figure out why, if Eddie knows or knew that the two twin boys did not like anybody underneath that tent. And then he also probably knew, I'm saying probably because I don't know, that the two twin boys, especially one of them, is aggressive and can't contain his feelings. He said that. Allegedly, he said that. Okay? So Eddie should have known this. So once Hunter went over there and talked to Karmelo and things start getting reckless, that's when Eddie should have intervened and told Karmelo, let's go. Period. And just say he couldn't make him leave. That's when Hunter should have went and got the coach or told his brother to. But since they all are like, all out there, with their egos and shit and trying to play bad, see, nobody did that. Nobody did that. Instead, they stood there going back and forth. And Hunter and his brother just kept on. If somebody tell you to leave them alone, leave them alone. If they say don't touch me, don't touch me. I mean, what's wrong with a person when you say, don't touch me, and then you touch them anyway? We will see, Bastille. Only 6 months? Goodness. And see, that's what I'm talking about, a double standard. The white female that abbed up the Nigerian brother only got 6 months. Okay, so the justice system is just not fair. So, but it's up to us to make sure things are being done fairly. Because y'all need to keep on talking about Nolan Wells, Karmelo Anthony, and any other person, black person, that's being done unfairly by the justice system. You want the same fair trial, fair everything that other people get. That was her boyfriend? That's sad. You said it's been over a year. Karmelo family has not been saying anything about more stuff and more people involved. The thing is this right here. They're not talking at all. Okay, which is a good thing. Sometimes you don't need to talk. Okay, point blank. They don't need to be coming up here telling nobody anything. Okay, because y'all don't like them anyway. So why would they be up here talking? I wouldn't be saying shit to none of y'all. That's on everything. I think they will do a retrial. I don't think they're gonna dismiss the case, but I think they will do a retrial and stuff just to have this whole case over again. You know what I'm saying? So we can actually see if they got it right. I don't think they have it right because I think more stuff was done, and I don't believe this completely. I just don't. Yeah, they have never, because I was even complaining about that at first, that they don't say shit. They're nothing like Nolan family because they speak it out. The Miller family don't really say anything much. And I think, because basically, I don't know, maybe they're just not, don't know how to deal with this type of stuff. And clearly not, because look at the damn stuff they allowed the lawyer to do. I don't think so. I don't think so. No, they're not necessarily. Because the thing is, they weren't there. Okay, so they would just be doing basically hearsay, saying what their son could have possibly told them. They didn't say anything really, anything much about what their son said, nothing. And I think the lawyers probably told them not to talk about it. All they was doing was talking about how people were harassing them and threatening them and things of that nature. They didn't go into the strict details about, anything their son said. Okay, they said a little bit of stuff, but they're not going to be saying anything because the reason being is because you don't want to jeopardize your son's case. Now, you need to be quiet. You don't, listen, they don't owe you guys any damn thing, okay? So they don't have to say anything, period. Yeah, they did do interviews, but they were advised not to say certain things. They don't need to. I don't think he would get a rough sentence. Okay, because that background information is not, it doesn't basically, first and foremost, the things that he was saying, you have to understand what he meant, okay? You can't just assume okay? Because you don't know. It's like the time when I was telling somebody about the ATM machine thing, and this person trying to think he knows what I was talking about when he actually didn't. You can't assume that you know what I'm talking about unless I tell you what I'm talking about. The same thing with this kid right here. Him doing these damn text messages and shit. Yeah, we think they a hot ass mess and ridiculous and just crazy, but we don't know exactly what the context of it is. And we don't know if he's playing, if he's tripping out or what. We don't know. Because everything he said, he never did it. He didn't sell the DRUGS. Okay, so he can buy GUNs. Okay, he did have pictures where he took holding a firearm and stuff like that. But that was probably, he was probably, what you call that? Stunned, trying to act like he's something that he's not, like a lot of boys do, white boys and black boys. They do this. So we don't know if that's really something he was actually going to do. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just like even with Austin Metcalf, when he told that dude to KILL, that MFer, do y'all think he really meant that? Let's keep it real. Now, of course, the defense is going to say he really meant it. It's like the prosecutor is going to try to say the same thing with Karmelo stuff. But that doesn't mean that's what he really meant. He could have just been saying that. And since he's not alive, we can't ask him. But you can't ask his brother if his brother was there. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know. You can't take stuff out of context and then think you can use it in a court of law, and try to act like you know exactly what somebody said, because you don't know. The things that they do know is if he ever got suspended in school, because there's records of that, and what he got suspended for, and if he ever hit girls, which they both did that, as well as being suspended. And let me see what else. I forgot what else they said. Anything like that you can prove. You do know these things happen, but as far as what he said in these text messages, we don't know if that's true. Even the stalking thing, going over to somebody's house, trying to talk to them, trying to get back together with them, it may not be looked at as stalking. Okay, and as far as just riding past her house, how does she know that he was riding past her house when she's sitting in the window watching? Right, that's what I just said. They're not gonna say a word, nothing. They're smart. Don't say shit. You don't need to say anything about your son. Not one word. Not nothing. You don't need to tell anything. Do all that shit when everything is over, after all the appeals are done, and that's gonna be years down the road. His lawyer was bullshit. Okay, that's why he got a whole new team of lawyers. We're gonna see what they are saying. Forget that other lawyer. Okay, we're talking about these new lawyers now. The new defense team. Forget the other lawyer, because they're not going to be representing him. As a matter of fact, have we heard anything from the other lawyer? I think we did. So the thing is, that shit is irrelevant. Okay, we don't care about them anymore. Well, if he gets a retrial, we care about his new team and what they're going to do. Okay, and I'm pretty sure they know everything about Karmelo and everything, and they probably teaching him and stuff, getting him prepared for, the trial and everything. So he won't get up there and be doing the most. One thing I know is this: why he be doing that stand. Don't be volunteering shit. Let them ask you questions and stick to basic answers. Don't go into too much details or anything, period. And I can't wait until they cross-examine Hunter if he's allowed to be up, to testify. I know I saw that. It was a whole bunch of people testified today. I think that's what I read and stuff. Yeah, I think that's what I read. But yeah, if Karmelo Anthony, if it's proven, if he gets a retrial, all I can say, if he gets a retrial and everything is put out, whatever happens after that will be a whole lot fairer than what went on in this other trial. Okay, point blank. Because they will have, all of the evidence they need to put up. They will have the background stuff, everything. And see, don't forget this. Not only are they going to bring up any bad conduct or whatever the case is, they're going to also bring up good conduct. Okay, like when he saved the little white girl, okay, from drowning. His grade point average, him working 2 jobs, him never getting caught doing anything, contrary to whatever he said. Okay. Again, I'll use myself as an example. I can write a text message right now. Just for example, Jermaine, one thing that I said in a text message that you know getting damn well, I ain't never did. One thing that I have told you, joking around, and I put it in a text message. The torture thing. I ain't never tortured nobody, okay? But yet I can talk about stuff like that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. People say stuff in text messages, just living out their little fantasies or just being silly or just being plainly stupid or trying to be scary or trying to act bad. It doesn't mean they are going to do it. If that was the case, hell, I know somebody who should be incarcerated right now in a damn padded cell because his ass be saying all types of shit right here on social media. Okay, so yeah, people say all types of stuff. Just like the police told me that day when I went down there, they were like, people say all types of stuff in a text message, and we can't really use that to arrest anyone. We got to have actual, proof. You got to have proof that they are talking to you and they are coming to do something to you. Period. So we will see how all of this, how all of this plays out. We will see. Man, y'all been sitting in the most weirdest positions. It hurt my damn foot. Okay. So anyway, let me see what else we got. But this is a good conversation. And I hope they may make up their mind, like I said, tomorrow. Okay, so make sure y'all be looking out for that. And if they do come up with something tomorrow, then of course I'll come back on tomorrow night to talk about it. Because they may. Okay. Any other last comments before we get ready to leave? I see my little theme right there. Good live. It means it's time for me to get out of here. We've been on here for 2 hours and 7 minutes. And y'all make sure y'all thumbs up, okay? Thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, share, leave a comment, and hype this video up. And look, over here on Shades too, just to let you guys know, you guys have your right to say whatever you feel. You don't have to agree with me, or you agree whatever you want to. You disagree with whatever you want to. And over here, we allow people we give people the opportunity to voice whatever they want to voice, as long as we all stay respectful. So I'm cool, y'all cool, and we'll see how this all plays out. Period. Okay. So guys, if y'all want to show additional support for this channel, feel free to do a super sticker, super chat, a Cash App donation at $Shades2. You can cop some jewels, or you can cop a membership for $4.99 per month. Again, thanks to all who have donated this week. I definitely appreciate you guys. Thanks for all those jewels too. I definitely like those, y'all. Let's see what y'all say. Y'all last words for right now. If there was a separate trial for Austin assaulting Karmelo by a chef, then his background adds to him looking guilty. But this is Karmelo's trial, and the background will hurt him more. We will see. Wet Seal, we will see. If they can use the background to show a pattern of bullying behavior from Austin Metcalf, which he could have used that day, you know what I'm saying, and doing other things to make Karmelo Anthony fear for his life, and thus utilize as self-defense. So we will see. We will see. All right? Y'all have a blessed weekend too. And like I said, if they do come back with an answer tomorrow, I'll do a little live about that. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on Monday. A lot of shit has been happening this week. The Beyonce thing, but I'm not talking about that. Y'all, I'm not talking about that. Y'all, I'm just saying, sitting on that, when she was young, I don't know how old she was, sitting on that dude's lap. Yeah, Hollywood is a mess, honey. Hollywood is a mess. Anyway, that's a trip. And then all the other stuff that's been happening, with Lindbergh and the Mo 3 stuff, and just a lot of shit. A couple of weeks ago, we got Jared Leto, I think that's his last name. His allegations and charges. I think he got charged. I'm not sure, but I know there are allegations. Just a lot of stuff, y'all. A lot of stuff has been happening, and usually I would cover those things, but since I've been talking about Nolan and now Karmelo, it's hard to cover everything. All right? Yeah, Keefy D, the stuff with Tupac and stuff. That right there is explosive too. I may have to cover that some next week because that is a hot ass mess. All of that. But I have to go back and look at everything. So we may talk about that next week too. Because once Carmelo stuff is over, Monday, that'll be it for now, with him. And so we'll probably start talking about Keefy D tripped out ass. Do y'all think Keefy D did it? Before we leave. See, he's another person that should have shut up and not been talking. But now people like to talk, they like to brag, they like to do the most. And that's exactly why he's incarcerated now. All right? All right. So with that being said, y'all, have a blessed night, blessed weekend. Check out my other videos. And I'll see you guys tomorrow if you watch Country Rain, which is today. If not, I'll see y'all on Monday. Make sure y'all check out my Dollar Tree hauls and stuff too, okay? Have a blessed night, y'all. You don't know, you don't care. You don't care about Tupac. You better care. Because like he said, all eyes on me. All right? Good night, y'all. Peace out. It take me some time to do all this, y'all. The StreamYard does not do anything. Peace out, West Hill. Oh, let me tell all of y'all, see y'all later. I forgot to do it. I'm so tired. Oh, please. All right, Jermaine, thank you so much for being here. West Hill TV, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, Mama Magazine, thank you so much for being here. LaVon, thank you so much for being here. See, I like the fact they be in my Country Wayne lives and over here too. That's so good. Thank you. And Margaret, she comes over here sometimes too. J4, thank you so much for stopping by again. All righty, I appreciate you. Have a good night at work. You be doing some talking over here, y'all. Look at all these damn messages. All right, so I think I hear. Oh, Young Riaz, thank you so much for stopping by too. I appreciate you as well. You said free Diddy? Okay. Yeah, you so silly. Y'all silly. And free Diddy. Okay. And thanks to everybody. He say, what the hell? Oh, hell no. He wants you to free Diddy because he want to be the next person to go to one of his freak offs, if you get my drift. Oh my gosh. Because Jermaine be having freak offs himself. Sometimes when he be here, he tells us about it. Okay. When the next time you having a freak off, Jermaine? Because you may want to invite LaVon, West Hill TV. Can't invite what's his name because he's too young. And anybody else who want to come, y'all can go to that freak off. I don't go to freak off stuff. J4 can go. Oh man. Y'all can all go to the freak off. Anyway, y'all, let me get my ass out of here. Y'all have a blessed night. I'm going to go in here and go to my freak off right here in this damn shower and then go to bed and go to sleep. All right? So I can get up and go to work. Good night, y'all. Dang. And thanks to everybody in the bushes and everybody who watched this in the replay. Good night, y'all. Again.
Yo, turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shades 2, baby. She back again. Crowd lit, vibe on 10. Shay walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section, she call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view.
Late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I let game, get back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line and somebody hurt. Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right, yeah, late night with Shay.
Late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. That's right. News, drama, laughs, whatever else you feel like. One mic, one queen. Late night with Shay. On Shay's tube, she back again.
It's late night with Shay.
Yeah, she say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. Now you thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. Now you thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Yeah.
Good night, y'all. And sweet dreams. Oh, my boys. Good night, y'all. Okay, let's try it again. Good night, you guys. Sweet dreams. Oh, man.